Right, so I'm pretty sure that this is a first for this channel because today we're going to be talking about wig drama. And more specifically, we're going to be talking about a dispute between a customer and a company selling wigs, luxury wigs to be exact. So there's a couple of people you need to be aware of in this situation. The first one being Christa's Hair Journey, a TikTok of about 25,000 followers. And the second person being Shani Wigs, a TikTok of 140,000 followers. As you can probably tell by the name, Shani Wigs sell wigs, right? This is a company that sell like luxury wigs. Now, if we take a look at their website, we can see it right here. They are pretty pricey, right? So we've got some that are around like 9K, 6K again. Like there's a lot of like different options. I think the most expensive one I saw was probably this one. That was like 11.5 grand. Now, of course, with the prices being high, you can expect really high quality, right? I think one of the big things that they use for marketing and a big reason why a lot of people would purchase these wigs is because if you look at the FAQs here, it says, how long can I expect my wig to last? And it says, with the right upkeep, your wig should last up to 5 years. And in fact, in a video that we'll watch by Shani when she kind of responds to this situation later on, she says with the right upkeep, it can last at least 5 years. So it could be more. Basically, they're long-lasting wigs. That's like kind of the whole point of them, right? Now, on Christa's TikTok account, she has spoke about the struggles that she's had with hair loss before. So there was this video where she kind of tells her story. We can see the caption on screen here saying, months after I suffered extreme hair loss and breakage from devastation and stress. And because of this, Christa started using wigs, and on her page, she has made many videos talking about many different types of wigs, about like the positives and the negatives. Now, in this first video that I just mentioned, where she's kind of like talking about her hair loss and the reasons behind it and whatnot, bear in mind, this is actually back in August. This situation's been going on for a long time. The most recent stuff we're going to be talking about is literally just within the last few days. But in this original video, she actually ends it by saying that while she was in New York City, she actually booked an appointment with Shani Wigs and bought a wig.
I flew to New York City for work, and I made an appointment with Shani Wigs, where I actually got fitted for a custom-made wig for myself. A couple weeks later, I took out my extensions. And so this is where we are today. This was the day that I took them out, the current progress that I'm in. So I will continue to try to grow my hair naturally without coloring it. But in the meantime, I'm going to keep wearing my wig, or as I like to name her, Christy.
And looking at the videos that came after this video, at first, Christa was clearly very happy with her wig.
I love wearing it out, as you can tell. I'm in windy California. It doesn't move. I can flip it. I can go this way. I have zero glue on. I literally just have the headband that you put around your head. I
mean, look, clearly you can see she's very happy with what she's purchased. But now we have to fast forward to the end of October when Christa actually uploaded a video kind of doing like a 101 like guide for people who might be buying wigs and things she has learned since she has bought her wig.
Let's start off the first episode of our Wigs 101 series by talking about what to know before you purchase a $10,000 wig. And this is all coming from personal experience from yours truly. If you are going to be buying a wig online or in person, it's important to find out what the repair policy is for that wig, especially if it costs $10,000 and starts to fall apart after only 4 months of wear.
Okay, so you can probably tell where the situation is going, right? So we have these wigs that kind of get marketed that if you look after them correctly, they can last up to 5 years, at least 5 years, whatever it is, around 5 years. Now, Christa's making this video saying that just after 4 months, the wig has fallen to pieces. And in fact, actually goes on to show like pictures and videos kind of like proving this.
And as you guys can see in this picture, as well as this video and a couple of these clips, that the part line is starting to completely fall apart. I've already sent this wig back once to Shani for repair, and she did cover the repair cost as well as the shipping cost.
Okay, so as you also heard, the wig has already been sent to get repaired once, and that was covered at first, but then Christa goes on to say that she needed to send it back because it was still falling to pieces, and this time it wasn't covered.
They told me, no, you can't return it, which, fine, I understand. So they offered up repairs. So I said, okay, sure, I'll send it back to New York for repairs. But I asked that you guys cover the shipping cost because, again, it's only been 4 months. It's my second time sending this wig back for repairs since I've owned it in 4 months. Call me crazy, but if I'm going to pay $10,000 for something, I expect it to hold up. I expect there to be a warranty. When I asked about the shipping label, I was told, no, you have to pay for shipping yourself. And by the way, the repairs are not going to be covered. So not only do I have to pay for the cost of shipping, but I also have to pay for the repair. on top of the $10,000 that I paid for that wig.
Okay, so clearly Krista's not happy with the customer service here, and I mean, yeah, if you pay $10,000 for something that's supposed to last 5 years and it only lasts 4 months, of course you're not going to be happy. But Christa does end this video by saying that she's making this video in particular for people who might be thinking about purchasing a wig.
This is obviously a learning process for me, so I'm making this video to just point out a few things for those of you that may be deciding to purchase a wig in the future. Don't make the mistake that I did. Do your research, find out the warranty, find out the repair policy, and so you're not stuck with a $10,000 wig that you can't wear anymore.
And yeah, as you can see on screen, to end this video, she also does say that the wig that she's wearing in this video is not the wig that she's talking about. This is a Milano wig that she's going to talk about later in a different video. Now, after this video was posted, a lot of people were curious to see what the response was going to be, like if Shani Wigs was going to make a video responding to this whole situation. Now, straight after this video was uploaded and after seeing the comments, Christa decided to give a bit of an update, but it's not the update that people were expecting. She just got blocked.
After voicing my concerns today and writing an email to customer service, it seems that I have been blocked. So, there's your answer.
Okay, so clearly a very shitty situation, right? You've paid $10,000 for something that's supposed to last up to 5 years. It's only lasted 4 months. You've had a deal of getting it repaired multiple times. You then made a video talking about your experience, and now you've been blocked and you have no way of contacting them. Now, there's obviously some parts in the story that we really can't comment on, right? Because when we do get to Shani's response later on, it's a lot to do with like the care of the wig and that it hasn't been looked after. And obviously, we don't know how it was looked after, right? But what we do have is Krista's response to the claims that she didn't look after the wig, and that's what we're going to get into. And this stuff is a lot more recent. This actually just 6 days ago, this video in particular. So Christa starts off this video by giving a bit of a recap of the stuff we already know about her buying the $10,000 wig and the repairs and whatever else. And then she goes on to talk about how she wanted her money back for the product. That was refused, so she filed a dispute with Amex.
I first asked for my money back, which she said no. I then decided to dispute with my credit card company. If you've never filed a dispute with Amex, you know that you have about 200 characters that you can enter into the box when you're first filing the dispute. So I wasn't able to provide much information, except that I was given a faulty product, did not live up to the expectations of lasting 5 years because it couldn't even last 5 months.
And then after filing the dispute, Shani obviously had to respond to the dispute, and we actually have a screenshot of what was said here. So she starts off by saying like we're writing in response to the claims and whatnot, and then she says, we would like to clarify several key points. Our customer insisted on purchasing the wig the same day as her initial consultation, even after we cautioned her that she might require adjustments later. Despite our warning, she proceeded with the purchase. Now, instead of reading through the whole response and then getting to Krista's response to everything, let's actually go one by one, right? So the first claim is that Christa left with the wig the same day after being advised not to. Now, this is Krista's response to that.
So Shani's first argument was that I insisted on leaving with the wig that day. I asked Shani, would it be possible to leave with the wig that day? I was relying on her expertise and her judgment as the wig maker to ensure that this wig was 100% up to standards, especially for $10,000. It was up to her as the merchant and the business owner to tell me, no, I am not comfortable with you leaving this wig today. I would rather create you a new one. Did she do that? No.
Now, the next point that Shani brings up is that the wig was beautiful and perfect at the time of the purchase, as noted by the customer herself in multiple TikTok vlog videos where she wore and praised the product. And here is Krista's response to that.
The second point that she made was how satisfied I was with the wig after purchase. This is no secret. I posted about it. The posts are still there. I loved my wig the first month that I had it. I started noticing bald spots in the part after the first month. This is when my initial complaints started to set in. My early praise for the wig was based off of the wig's appearance at the time and its performance at the time. I had no way of predicting the premature balding and the appearance of the wig that would start to happen shortly after.
Yeah, I mean, that seems like a completely fair argument to me, right? Like, she made the videos at first when she first got the wig because she was happy with it, and then the hair started falling out of the wig over time, so her opinions changed. That seems very understandable to me. Now, the next point that Shani brings up is on maintenance instructions and misuse, and says, our customers are explicitly instructed on proper care and advised against behaviors that could damage the delicate lace of the wig. These instructions are also detailed in our terms and conditions. The customer engaged in activities that directly cause damage to the wig, such as gluing it on, a practice we explicitly warn against. She even documented this in her TikTok videos. Now, Shani obviously brings up the terms and conditions here, right? So I looked at the terms and conditions on the website, and it does talk about like care and whatnot. but it definitely doesn't get into specifics. Like, there's nothing mentioning physical activity, and there's also something else that gets brought up with the glue later that's not mentioned in here. The only things I can really see, I mean, there's a section on warranty that says like a 1-month warranty is offered for specific alterations, and it goes through like different types of warranty, right? But then it also says, we do not guarantee the lace material and lace work during the warranty period. Damage to the lace, such as fraying, holes, and tears, can happen if the lace is handled incorrectly. And then underneath it does say, we do not offer any refunds or exchanges on any purchase. So it's basically saying like things can happen if you don't look after them correctly, but doesn't get into the specifics like it's mentioned in the dispute response. And when Christa responds to this in her video, she brings this up as well as a few other points.
The third point, and this is probably my favorite point, is the misuse of the wig. So Shani goes on to say that I misused the wig by putting glue, aka lace melting spray, on it and working out in the wig. So for my wig wearers out there, I just want to know, are you expected to not be able to do any sort of physical activity if you're bald or you have alopecia or you have cancer, and you're not expected to do any sort of physical activity or anything outside of sitting in the wig because that's going to violate terms and conditions? I did nothing outside of normal day-to-day activities that a wig wearer is expected to do when I was wearing my wig. Let's talk about the lace melting spray. Lace melting spray is an industry-wide standard application and practice if you wear lace front wigs, because the lace isn't always seamless. Moreover, the balding that happened in the part line, the lace melting spray does not go in the part line. The lace melting spray goes along here. I never had issues along here. The issues that I have were the part line widening, the wefts sticking out. My lace melting spray contributed to none of that.
And then, like I said before, Christa then goes on to talk about the terms and conditions and how they're a bit vague and also like hard to find on the website.
She also mentions that I violated the terms and conditions. Let's pull up the terms and conditions here. If you scroll down to the very bottom, very bottom of her website, there's a tiny little link called terms and conditions. You can't find it anywhere else. It's not in the FAQ. It's not in the returns. Scroll on down to the very bottom of her website and you'll eventually find it. If you read through the terms and conditions, it mentions nothing about violating terms and conditions if you use lace melting spray, if you decide to post a TikTok running on a treadmill in the wig. Nothing around that. It has everything to do with the return policy and her warranty, which is bullshit, by the way.
And then as for the rest of the response from Shani, the response to the dispute, she goes on to talk about like the repair services provided and says, despite the misuse, we made an exception and repaired the wig at no cost. When the customer returned a second time with additional damage caused by further mishandling, we agreed to provide a free shipping label but informed her that she would need to cover the cost of the repairs. At this point, the customer decided to keep the wig and send it to someone else for repair instead. She then disputed the transaction while retaining and continuing to use the wig. Okay, so this whole part of the response where they're talking about the fact that she sent it to someone else to get repaired, from what I know, which, I mean, it isn't a lot in terms of stuff like this, I would think that that would have a big part to play on whether she can get a refund or if she can, like, dispute the payment with a credit card company. Like, all I know is with a lot of products that if you get it, like, repaired or changed by, like, a third-party company, that can affect the warranty, right? So I'm not sure how it affects, like, a dispute with a credit card company, but it might have a big factor with their decision. As for the rest of Shani's response, they talk about, like, the customer was fully informed of our policies at the time of purchase and repair. She acknowledged and accepted these terms, including the fragility of the lace and the necessity of proper care. Despite this, she repeatedly ignored our guidelines and caused the damage she now claims are indicative of poor quality. And then the rest of it is basically just saying that it's the customer's actions mishandling the wig despite explicit instructions. And then they say that they request that you reverse this chargeback case promptly. Now, at this point in the video, Christa says that she, like, reopens the dispute, mentions all the stuff that we've kind of heard her say, but then she's not hearing anything back. She tries calling multiple times, she's not hearing anything back, and then the case is just closed.
I included all of this in a nicely put together document to Amex when I reopened the dispute again, because no one ever actually talked to me about the dispute. I received one call from Amex last Thursday where they left me a voicemail, and I didn't pick it up because I was on a work call. I immediately called back 30 minutes later at the number requested. I left a message. No one called me back. I then proceeded to call back 4 more times until today, actually yesterday, and leave more messages because I desperately wanted to talk to someone and they said they needed more information. I received an email last night that my dispute has been reclosed despite me never talking to a single person. this is also where it gets really fucking good.
Okay, well, let's take a look at the part where it gets really good. And to be fair, this is a really bizarre part of the story, right? Because we can actually see a document that Shani provided when she issued her, like, response to the dispute. And it's like an email conversation, right? The problem is the email conversation that she is showing isn't with Christa, it's with a different customer called Linda. And we can see here that this customer that has nothing to do with this situation specifically, Linda, has actually contacted Shani and says, "Dear Shani, I cannot tell you how disappointed I am, and I told your receptionist, but now your buddy ever called me to discuss this, your wig does not fit." Okay, I'm kind of confused, but basically she's saying the wig doesn't fit, right? Plus it is made terribly with bumps and hair added to the exterior, which is more bumps, and the bangs cut too short, and it's really an embarrassment. I disputed it with Amex because this is not something that I would be seen in. Amex told me to hold on to it, but if you would like to just make it easy and let me give it back to you and credit me back instead of the dispute, let me know. Best regards, Linda. Okay, so as you can see, this is a separate customer complaining about the quality of the product, right? So Shani actually ends up replying to Linda and says, "We had a call with you the next day. We offered you to come back. We can assist you further with the concerns you had. You have since disputed your purchase with your bank without sending back your piece to us. It is now up to the bank and lawyers to resolve this issue." Okay, right. So it's another issue with a different customer, right? Now, the main reason why this is so bizarre is, first of all, this was used in the response to Christa's claims, but also this just wasn't picked up by Amex, it seems.
In the document that Shani provided, this is a PDF. She references emails from a Linda and customer complaints from a Linda asking to have her wig returned. So this just shows you that Amex did not do their due diligence in investigating this with Shani Wigs, and that Shani Wigs has so many complaints coming in about how crappy her wigs are that she can't even keep track of the emails and the disputes that she is fighting against.
Now let's actually move on to 5 days ago as I'm recording this video, because Shani actually responded to this situation on TikTok where she doesn't mention anyone specifically, but I mean, it clearly is a response to Christa, in my opinion, because she mentions, like, the glue and, like, physical activity and whatnot. But it's basically a video talking about how long a wig should last.
How long does a wig that costs $10,000 is supposed to last? A luxurious custom wig is undeniably more natural than any other wig. But when it comes to longevity, how long does it supposed to last? It all comes down to care and maintenance. Most of the cap is wefted, which is super easy to add or remove hair. When it comes to the top of our wigs, whether it's skin top or lace top, it's fully hand tied. I always warn my customer not to work out in their wigs because your natural sweat will make the lace stretch out even more, and definitely not glue down your lace. That could cause the wig to rip apart in a matter of a few months.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, look, she clearly doesn't respond to anyone specifically, like, by name, but it's too specific to the point where, like, I believe she is definitely talking about Christa here. And in fact, she ends the video by saying that she still has wigs from 8 years ago that are still in good condition, and again, also mentions the glue.
I've been wearing wig for 8 years, and I still have wigs that look brand new, even after all those years. I'm gonna say it one more time, but if you put glue on your wig, you are going to ruin the lace.
Yeah, I mean, I can't say I know the ins and outs of wigs, right, and, like, how glue can affect it and whatnot, but I'm just showing the responses from both people here. But for anyone who has better knowledge in this and maybe wears wigs themselves, please let me know in the comment section down below, like, how glue would affect this and who is in the right? Who do you think is in the right? Now, since Shani's video, Christa has uploaded a couple of, like, short videos. Like, there was this first one, again, talking about how Shani is, like, blocking people, and then also says, like, the reason why she kind of fell for this in the first place is because she couldn't see any, like, negative comments, probably because they were blocked.
If you are a business and you feel that you stand behind your products, why are you blocking anything that is not positive or not in favor of you? As a business owner, you should be able to take any criticisms and any heat of your product, your business, and respond to those accordingly. The fact that my comments and DMs are filled with people being blocked left and right is one of the reasons why I fell for this wig in the first place, because I couldn't find any negative reviews because they are all being blocked.
And the final video that Christa uploaded about this, which was uploaded 18 hours ago as I'm recording this video, is just kind of like this screenshot. She's replying to a comment that says if she had followed instructions, it would have lasted. And she shows in one of Shani's own videos there's this wig here that clearly she's saying isn't in good condition. Now, as for the comments on this situation, on Christa's video specifically, there's a lot of people saying stuff like she has a video of her playing tennis in one of her own wigs, talking about Shani. I also did see a lot of people saying that Amex is usually good, like this comment right here, and the people are saying like you need to send effing in writing, which, I mean, from what Christa's saying, it sounds like she did, but a lot of people seem to believe that Amex would go through with this dispute. Obviously they haven't. I will say there's also a lot of comments on this video just saying stuff like, who spends 10k on a wig? I'm still at 10k for a wig. And then also a lot of people saying stuff like this, can you take it to small claims court? Basically people saying that she should take legal action. Now, as for Shani's response video, the comments are a little bit different. We've got people asking questions like, well, what if you sweating or working out? Like it's the middle of summer and I have to walk to my office, I can't wear the wig, be so real. Another comment here saying, is this because of Christa, Linda? And then a bunch more comments saying stuff like, wait, so why are they so much more if you can't do half the things? How does that make sense? No, you should provide free maintenance for X amount of years for 10k. If I'm paying 10k for a wig, I should be able to do cartwheels, swim, and effing in between. And then there is some comments clear from people who are on Shani's side, like there's people saying Shani wins, love my Shani wig, Shani fighting back. So yeah, there's the comments that are on Shani's video. I would love to know your opinions in the comment section down below on everything that we spoke about in today's video. If you did enjoy, please do leave a like down below, subscribe if you are new, and until the next one, I'll see you guys in a bit. Alright, goodbye.